Hey guys, and welcome back. So the other day I went through my expenses for the last couple of months and I realised that my biggest expenditure is actually going to the cinema, because I go at least once a week, if not twice. I've been 3 times before. Yeah, I go and see a lot of movies, not to mention in my spare time I watch a lot of 80s movies. In particular ones with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't know. But recently I've just watched a lot of movies at the cinema and I figured I would talk to you about them. The reason why I go to the cinema so much is basically, for me, it's like a little pause button, I suppose. You just go in, turn your phone off, can't look at it, gotta be present. And for me that works really well. I really like it as like a little mode of self-care. It's been really fun. But it's expensive, so I invested in a cinema card now. I have a loyalty card, so no more spending all that money, alright? Anyway, let's dive into some of the movies I have seen lately that I either recommend or don't so much. Okay, the first movie I want to talk about is Rocketman, the Elton John movie. I didn't really know what to expect, so maybe I am biased because I did go to the blue carpet for this, which was an amazing experience. Got to see lots of celebs, which is fun, who I don't recognize. It's always somebody else who points them out to me, because I'm terrible with faces and names. So it was a really good experience. I loved it. But beyond that, I didn't really have any time to research the movie, even watch the trailer for the movie, because I got my invite on the Friday and I was at the red carpet on the Monday night. I had to get a dress. I was back home in Ireland. All this had to be done really quick. So I didn't do any homework. So I turned up and I didn't know it was a musical. So I have conflicting feelings about musicals, because sometimes I feel like they take me out of a storyline that's already amazing and everything just changes tempo a bit, and it confuses my brain basically. I'm not intellectual enough to get musicals, I don't think. But some musicals I do love, so like The Greatest Showman and things like that, I do love those, and Sweeney Todd and la la la. Anyway, so I sat down and within the first 5 minutes of this movie I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna cry. It was like very emotionally raw and just evoked a lot of feelings within me, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna cry. And then boom, we got a song. And I was like, oh, it's a musical. But then in a split second I realized, it's like, this is an Elton John movie. It's Elton John. Of course it's gonna be a musical. And when I embraced that and embraced how gay like the singing and dancing was, I loved it, and I thought it was amazing because it needed the music almost, in my opinion, because the storyline itself is very gritty, it's very dark, it's very real, and I appreciate that so much. I love it when people are honest and open about the trials and tribulations that they've gone through in their lives. So I was glued to that, but it was like amazing relief to hear his songs, like the songs that we all know and love. So yeah, I really, really love that movie. Definitely worth going to see if you can, or wait for it to come out in DVD. I just think it's worth seeing. It makes me understand him a lot more now as well. So yeah, recommend that. Okay, the next movie I want to talk about is Booksmart. Now, I don't want to give too much away about this movie, but I just really hope you watch it because it is freaking hilarious. It's like Superbad meets Lady Bird with hints of Juno in the dialogue. It's just incredibly witty. I went to see it when there was like nobody in the theatre really, but every single person there was like howling with laughter. Even the guy behind us, who was like clearly a dad, thought it was the funniest thing ever. So it's definitely a generational thing. You don't have to be a teenager to appreciate this movie. It's that stereotypical coming of age theme where pre-college vibes, like, but basically the 2 girls in the movie are both massive nerds and they studied their butts off all year to get into the prestigious colleges that they wanted to get into. But plot twist, so did everybody else who was out partying. So in a night, they want to make up for all the parties that they missed out on before they go to college, and hilarity ensues. I only had one issue with one thing, and it was something that the lesbian girl said. She's more than a lesbian. She's a really, really great character, and I love her. But she said something about lesbian sex that is not true. And I know a lot of people who've seen it and are either gay or bi have brought up that this sentence. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get demonetized. But it's inaccurate, basically. But if that is the only thing wrong with this movie, then sick. That's it. It's just hilarious. I'm not going to rave on too much about it. I just highly recommend you go see it, or at least wait for it to come out. Or I think somebody said it was on Netflix the other day, so lots of options for you to go see it, so watch it. Okay, the next movie I'm going to talk about is still in the cinema right now, and it is Godzilla. Where do I even begin? Oh my god. When I went to go see this, the cinema was basically packed. There was a lot of people there. But the movie was so bad. It was so bad. I couldn't follow the characters and their whiplash with how they felt about other characters. It was very hard to understand in that regard. The cast is obviously a star-studded cast, so I had high hopes. And I think by the end of it, I was so tempted just to walk out, because I just didn't get it. I love those kinds of movies. That's my problem. So I was obviously very excited to go see it, but it was just as bad as the first one, if not worse. So I don't recommend going to see it, but don't take my word for it. Watch it. Let me know how you feel about it, or if you've already seen it, let me know in the comments below how you felt about it, because I was laughing out loud during the movie because of how bad it was. And I'm not that type of person either, but I can't ignore how amazing the shots are and how amazing the special effects are, because that's insane. Like, they were amazing, and I was generally bought into that side of things, but it just was a bit of a letdown for me. So yeah. I feel bad. I don't usually say anything negative about anything as a person, but I thought I'd be honest in this review of the movies that I've seen, so yeah. Okay, this movie is no longer in theaters, but oh my god, I couldn't not mention it because it is such a beautiful movie. The movie is A Beautiful Boy, and it's about this father and son. The son has an addiction to drugs, and it's an emotional roller coaster the whole time. Like, so much crying. I cried a lot. Now, bear in mind, I went to see this in February after like January and getting my emotions back. So I was just coming to terms with having feelings again. And this one just punched me in the gut with all of the emotions. I loved it. I thought it was just beautifully shot. The cast are amazing. Obviously, it's a star-studded cast again, but just showing the ups and downs of addiction the way it did. This whole thing that is very true of addiction, where you think the person's got their stuff together and they're like on the up and up, and it falls so quickly and it changes, and you're left then again just worrying about the protagonist. And it's very nice, I think, because it shows the dad's perspective as well, which I really, really appreciated, because you get to see how addiction affects those around the addict, as well as showing the insanity of the addict's life and thought processes as to why they continued to abuse the substance. And really the answer being there really is no answer, that if somebody is an addict, that they are an addict. And that constant like, just get better, like you just feel so angsty when you're watching it, because you're like, please just stop using. But that's not the way the world works, and it's based on a true story. Both the son and the father in real life wrote books. The son wrote obviously about his experience as being an addict, and the dad wrote a book about being the father of an addict. And I think that's why this movie gives such a well-rounded view of the life of addiction and those affected by it. So if that's something you're into, I would definitely recommend watching. I will warn you, it is a lot. It is a lot of feelings and just constant anxiety while you're watching it. So if that's not your jam, I don't recommend it. But it's just, for me, it's a modern day masterpiece in some regards, but that's just my opinion. So that's why I couldn't not make this video without including it, because I feel like it's a very important topic. So recommend. All right, I cannot do this movie review if I do not mention Marvel's Endgame, because I've obviously followed Marvel now for years. I even did the Marvel podcast when I was out in New York and went to see their offices, and it was so cool, and my little geeky heart died. It genuinely died. So this ending of a chapter, I had so many people warn me before I went in. They were like, it's a lot, be prepared. And just one day I decided to go by myself, sit down in a nice quirky theatre near my house, and I proceeded to cry 7 times. I counted it because it was hilarious, because I just couldn't seem to keep my eyes dry. I loved it. I love Marvel because of obviously the superheroes, and it's amazing, but I like their mixture between like comedy and action. It keeps my attention because I have the attention span of a small rodent. So I'm normally very, very entertained, and I laugh a lot, but this time there was more tears than there were laughing. Although obviously, like, not to spoil it, like, but the whole Thor thing, what happened to Thor just had me in stitches, and none of it was spoiled for me. I seen no spoilers before I went in. Just that upped my appreciation for the movie. Yeah, I loved it. I'm really sad though. I'm still sad, and I try not to think about it. Yeah, I mean, I would say like go and watch it, but I suppose like people who are into Marvel have probably already seen it, so I'm not gonna say go see it, because you probably already have, like, let's face it. But if you haven't watched like the Avengers series, I recommend sitting down and watching that, doing a little movie marathon of it if you haven't already. I know people are very, very tired of Marvel and all of the universe and superheroes in general, but like, these things become popular for a reason, and it's good, that's why. So yeah, but you don't have to listen to me. That's just my opinion. I loved it. Loved crying. All right, next movie is Aladdin. One of the biggest memes of this year so far, being Will Smith as Genie. A lot of people did not know how to feel about that. I think most of us understand that Robin Williams will never be replaced, nor do I feel like they were trying to replace him. I think Will Smith actually did a really great job. Maybe beyond the first 10 minutes, there was something in the first 10 minutes of the introduction of the Genie where I was like, oh my god, all the memes were right. It's not good. I don't like it. But after that, it got amazing. So, and comparably, the first song in the musical, I laughed out loud for the wrong reasons. It was a bit weird. But beyond those 2 moments, the rest of the movie was magical and amazing, and I loved it, and I was singing along, and I just thought it was really great. Being someone who studied musical theatre, those songs are some of the most popular songs to study, so I've studied them. So it was nice to watch a live action version of it. I really appreciated it. Yeah, I think it was really good, and I don't think it deserves as much criticism as I've read. Because it was genuinely entertaining. I had lots of fun watching it. But I could be biased in the sense of I have only seen the original Aladdin once, and it was at Christmas time for the first time. So yeah, I was 24 when I watched Aladdin for the first time. I know, Disney's not my forte, okay? Forgive me. So I didn't really have that much bias. Obviously, I appreciated Robin Williams as Genie and all that kind of stuff because I love he's amazing, but maybe I wasn't so attached to the original version as I know a lot of people are, because a lot of people cherish and love the movie. Love the soundtrack. I've had it on loop a few times whilst tidying my room and things. I think that's amazing. But yeah, I just thought some of the scenes were so, like, the colors of the movie are just so nice and so pretty, and they're very, they make you feel happy. So if you're in the mood to just be cheered up a little bit, I'd go see it. I would definitely recommend, especially if you have young brothers, sisters, or kids of your own. Like, go see it. It's worth it. I went there on a date and still appreciated it. So you can go as an adult as well, obvs. So yeah, I recommend, definitely. Now, being the positive human being that I like to be, I was toying with the idea of even giving my review on this movie. So maybe this won't make it in the video, who knows, depends how controversial I'm feeling. So I want to talk about Captain Marvel. Now, first let me say I freaking love Brie Larson. I think she is a strong, independent woman, and especially strong. Like, I watched her like lift like 400 pounds with her hips. Okay, that was impressive. Okay, I think it's great. However, so like I said, I am a massive Marvel fan, so my hopes were very high going into this. And I don't know, I was very excited for the whole Captain Marvel idea, you know? Maybe my hopes were too high. I don't know. I just feel like, oh God, I'm gonna get shot. I just feel like Captain Marvel wasn't making me feel things. Like, I wasn't particularly bothered by what happened to her. I know that sounds really bad. That sounds terrible. I just felt like there was a bit of a sheen between me emotionally connecting with Captain Marvel. And I don't know if it was Brie Larson. Like, I can't blame her. I think she did a great job, and I think she's an amazing actress, but I don't feel like this movie maybe showed off how amazing of an actress she is. Although I did love her in Endgame, so that's fine, and all of that. But I just couldn't feel anything for her character in this, and I don't know why, and it like tore me up a little bit. Like, I still enjoyed the movie, and it's a Marvel movie, so I really love Marvel. So I still had a good time, but I was trying to figure out why I just didn't care. It's terrible, like, because everything on paper was right. It followed that Marvel storyline that they all kind of follow, but I just didn't care. I'm so sorry. Don't come for me, Marvel fans. Like, I really am so sorry. But I just figured I'd be honest. Obviously, still recommend going to see it to make the Marvel universe make sense. But yeah, it'll get better. I believe in it. I believe in it. Anyway. Okay, so I don't want to make this video too long, and because like, you'll be bored, but I want to give some honorable mentions because, like I said, I went to see so many movies, I can't sit and explain them all, but some honorable mentions are Long Shot. Funny. Loved it. I didn't watch a trailer or anything for going to see that movie. I just went in dry and just thought it was hilarious, actually. Also want to shout out for Detective Pikachu because that was amazing. I loved it. I know some people really didn't, but maybe I'm easily pleased, but I just, being a Pokemon fan as a kid, I don't know, it was so nice to see the real life versions of like my favorite Pokemon. It was cool to see Jigglypuff. So yeah, I just thought that was super fun and it made me relive my childhood, so I had a good time with that. Also, shout out to John Wick because that was super good. Just so much action, so much fighting, I loved it. And dogs, so I mean, that's all you get. That's all I want. I'm just here for the dogs, you know? But no, it was a great movie, so I recommend going to see John Wick as well. Alright, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I didn't think anybody would make it this far, so that does mean a whole lot. Let me know in the comments below what movies you've seen lately that you recommend I go see, or things you know that are coming out that you recommend I go see, or just some movies you watched recently that you really like, because I'm adding to my watch list of films, so I'd appreciate some suggestions. So, especially 80s movies. If you've got any good 80s movies, I'm always game, so thank you. And on that note, I hope you're having a happy day and that the world is treating you the way you deserve. Alright, bye!